it is, folks. Blackburn Rovers' final away day of the season ends all square, and I think Rotherham United are the happier. We'll take a look at that and more next. Again with another match review. This time looking back at Blackburn Rovers' last match away from home in the 2020-2021 Championship season. We'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, where the heck have you been, boys? Smash your subscribe and keep hanging out doing all things. Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related. Woo! We got it all here, boys. Under one roof ski. That's right. Rovers had it, the stage was set to end the season, or especially end the away days, with a fantastic, free-flowing, no-pressure game against Rotherham United. But guess what? Rovers do as Rovers do best, and of course, flatter to deceive. 1-1 was the final score, as Rotherham kept up hope of course, the lastminute.com survival ship. That's right, we'll talk about all that in a minute. Of course, a big shout out to the VIPs. I'm talking about the Patreons, boys and girls. Thank you for your continued support as we try to move the chains and try to get up to 20,000 as quick as possible. Let's get into it though and take a look back at the match itself. Of course, 1-1 was the final score in the end. Adam Armstrong does what he does, of course, and scored his fourth goal in 2 games, of course, to move. Is he outright second? I don't know. We'll take maybe look at that another day. But yes, 1-1. 1-0 was, of course, early lead for Rovers on the 17th minute. And usually when we do that, we hold on, but unfortunately not today. Of course, lastminute.com drama. It gave Rotherham some hope, of course, as they try to hang on for dear hope and for some championship survival. In a game that Rovers did dominate again with possession, 57% compared to our opposition and our hosts, Rotherham 43% for them, and we had more shots as well to them as well, 17 to their 14 as well. But ultimately, Rovers flattered to deceive and of course had many chances to of course put the game to bed, but we couldn't do it. Adam Armstrong, those goal was a good one, good breakaway effort showing his pace, which of course has caught the attention for some teams above us, not only in the Premier League but of course in the Championship maybe, as he probably orchestrates a move elsewhere next season. The talk has been rife ever since January. There was no hope that he would leave in January, but of course the focus will be switching to him once the final whistle goes at Ewood Park next week as to where he will play. Of course, us fans probably have seen the last of him in a Rovers shirt because, of course, if he does leave in the summer, it's already we've already seen him in the flesh for the last time. But of course, hopefully he can end the campaign with some more sparkle next week. But yeah, Lewis Wing with an 86-minute equaliser with a free kick. He's a good little player, is Lewis Wing. Of course, on the books originally from Middlesbrough. They picked him up Rotherham on loan for the end of the season. And I think if Mowbray is looking, yeah, we could do with a set piece taker or two, and Lewis Wing would fit that category as well. It's not the first time he scored from a free kick, and he does it quite regularly as well. So 1-1 was the final score there. Of course, let's take a look at some other bits and figures, including the starting 11. Let's kick it off with the host. They had Blackman between the sticks. Very good keeper as well. Very eccentric. Of course, made some key saves to deny it. One of 2 McDonalds in the back there, of course, for Rotherham. Wood joins him as well. Ihiki as well, alongside the back 3. I think got Giles, Wing, McDonald, midfield alongside Bigney as well, with Lindsay pulling some strings in the middle of the field. Of course, Smith and Adapo up top. As for Rovers, though, we came with a 4-3-3. Again, some question marks on some of these players. Will they be here next season? Hopefully, Kaminsky should be here, of course, as our number 1. Then we have Bell, Lenihan, Howard Bellis, and Nyambi make up your back 4. Travis, Rothwell, and Johnson also made up a 3-man midfield, with Gallagher, Armstrong, and Brereton up top. And last week, of course, that trio did score goals for fun. This week, they were very goal shy. Maybe the creativity in midfield is not providing enough service. I don't know. It depends on how you want to spin it, of course. Let's take a look at my match ratings there for these 11 players. Of course, Kaminsky with a 6. He made a couple of good saves. Amari with a 6 as well. Lennon with a 5. I think he was at fault for the goal for Rotherham. Howard Bellis with a 6 and then with a 6. Travis with a 7. I thought he was outstanding today, breaking up things in midfield, and a performance that we haven't seen many of this season. So hopefully he comes back next season like that, because he will become like a new signing as well. Rothwell with a 6. Flattered to deceive as well. Johnson with a 6 as well. Gallagher with a 4. Not great today. Armstrong with a 7. With of course the goal does help his tally, and of course Brereton with a 5. Again, last week they were tremendous. This week not so much. And of course the chances for either of those two sides getting anywhere close to double figures, it is falling quick time. But of course Adam Armstrong doing what he does best and scoring goals, adding another couple of 100,000 to the transfer fee perhaps. Let's take a look at some other figures here for you. Of course we didn't play with that 4-2-3-1. That's a lie. A 4-3-3 was the formation for Rovers. Elliot Dolan were amongst a couple of substitutions for Rovers as well. We had more dribbles than they did. They had more tackles. We had more corners as well, which we did little to deceive as well. Let's take a look at some of the other key figures there. Of course, we had 620 touches compared to their 485. We had made more passes as well, 400 to their 294. Aerials were evenly spread across 36 apiece. We also made more clearances than they did as well. 11 shots off target, 6 on target. One of the shots from Rotherham was blocked by, of course, a Rovers man. And yeah, to be fair, we were active, but a goal shy is somebody even said on the watch along if we could make more use of those shots. We were quite fruitful up front. But the finishing is very, very dire. And as you see, that's represented by the heat maps here, or at least the shot grids for Rovers heading into this. Of course, Rotherham are in the orange. As for the heat maps, if you're a heat map man lost like me, of course, Rovers last week, we were less dominating with possession and we were better with it. This time out, we tried to press the game, and unfortunately, it played into Rotherham's hands. Of course, would it have been a fair result? Is this a fair result? Yeah, I'd say it's a fair result. 1-1 draw is probably an evenly spread. It does make it lively for the end of the season. We'll take a look at that in a minute, of course. But Rovers, realistically, we should be putting these games to bed. We should be winning these 2 or 3-0 if we're completely honest with you. But unfortunately, those performances are few and far between right now. We need to get the season over and done with. We need to regroup, reassess some of these players. Maybe the decisions have already been made up, or maybe they haven't. I don't know. But the news coming out of Ewood Park in respect to that is quite dry. We're not hearing any updates on any contract situations. We're not hearing anything about any changes in that, or any confirmation of players are staying or going, which is quite concerning. There needs to be a bit more open communications. Of course, I know right now this weekend is of a blackout with social media communication, but we still need to know what the future is like, what the future is going to hold for Nyambe, Amari Bell, Bradley Johnson in midfield, Rothwell as well, Adam Armstrong. Is there offers on the table? Are we going to say goodbye to him? Is this it? Is this it? For Adam Armstrong? Is next week this is his final game? We don't know. So it's quite sad that we don't know that. And I think if we don't know, then if we head into that game, even though fans can't be there to express their love or appreciation for Adam Armstrong, then we should, if we don't know anything, then we should take it as an understanding that he's not going anywhere, or they don't know. Because right now we just don't know. Anyway, that's a little bit what I've had to say. What about Tony Mowbray? What's he got to say after that lastminute.com leveller by Rotherham?
Yeah, so I thought he should have been 4 up at half time. I think we could have been 6 or 7 or 8, and it wouldn't have been an embarrassment, I don't think. And then they score from a free kick. That's never a free kick. It's 2 big guys competing for the header on the edge of the box. So frustrated. It's pretty. Yeah, I think that's a decent way to put it, but maybe it shouldn't surprise us. We have to be more clinical, we have to take chances, and as I said, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say we could have scored 6 or 7 today, and we didn't, and unfortunately, there you go. Yeah, but we had a lot of, proper chances today. These weren't half chances, these were one-on-ones running through, just the goalie to beat, or a cross that just needs side footing in, or a header at the back post that needs heading into the corner. Yeah, these were real proper chances, and yet they didn't go in, and we suffered the consequence late on from their goal, the free kick. That's listen, it doesn't matter at this moment, does it? But it does matter, of course, if we want to win football matches. But in the bigger context of things, it's just frustrating. It's an area that we have to improve. We've talked about whatever it is, 14, 15 times not scoring goals this year and losing 1-0, or that game should have been out of sight well before half time, and it continued after half time, but it wasn't, and we suffered by dropping 2 points in a game that we should never have dropped points. Not really. I think all you can do is keep working on what you do with the individuals, really. You've got to keep checking them out at the end of training and working on their finishing, working on their crossing, working on getting into the positions to score the goals. That's what football is. It's not. There's nothing that we're not doing that I'm going to change by coaching sessions, other than repetition of good practice and working really hard as an individual to make better contact, to know when to feint, shoot, chop it, sit the goalie on his backside and roll it in the corner. All of them things are quality and what the top players make. So tight games in the Premier League are won because a world-class striker has a world-class finish and the game's done. And, with talk about, we've got a lot of young players who are working hard to get to that level, and that journey has to continue for them, and they have to keep working really hard on the training ground to take more chances than they get. Listen, a strange day, because the ref sometimes let it roll, didn't he? He let things that looked like every other ref gives us free kicks. He played on as if he was thinking, all right, the ref's letting a little bit go today. And then for some reason, a few minutes from the end, two big centre-halves jumping for the ball, they jump in with each other, and he wants to give a foul. It's embarrassing, really, but I don't want it to sound like sour grapes. It was just a pathetic decision, but there you go. He gave it and they scored.
Just 8 subs today. One final point. What happened there?
We had the 20-man squad, and I got a call pretty late after I'd left work yesterday. Tom Tribal has had a scan on the back. He's had a back problem for a while, but he's been pushing through it and playing. And ultimately, I decided that he doesn't have to push through it when he's not our player. Basically, he's got his career at Norwich. He's got a year left at Norwich, and I wouldn't want to put him in a situation where I'm telling him he has to play. My mind wasn't to put experienced players on the pitch today anyway. Whatever the score was, it was really to put young players on, and yet the game was so wrapped up there that if we'd have put it to bed early like we should have done, Davenport, Buckley would have all been on the pitch, but it stayed tight, and I felt the players on the pitch that got through it physically deserved to stay on the pitch and try and win us a game.
Meanwhile, of course, there's a bit of a social media blackout, but of course it doesn't stop the folks over on the old brfcs.com forum chatting away. We'll have a quick gander at it then, shall we? Of course, Cherry Blue says, another game we should have won. Team not motivated by a man, not capable, but unfortunately he's not going to go anywhere. Meanwhile, Wing Wizard Wendy Miller said, my ground would make a better number 9 than Brereton, and she's been dead 30 years. Good description. Paul Melody said, nothing to add other than lamb cutlets and Cabernet Franc. Good night. He says, West Brooks Rover says, Rotherham have lost their previous 5 games. You can always rely on Mowbray team to end your bad run. DE said, 2 poor championship teams sharing the points in 2021. I imagine us and Rotherham will have similar point hauls. Either way, we'll be in their shoes next season if this joke of a manager is kept at the helm. As I've said for weeks, if Mowbray is still here at the start of the season, I won't be. Just an awful manager. That's exiled Rover. Waiko Rover says, nothing has changed in my opinion. The game was there, ours for the taking, and we fluffed and bobbled it away. A manager with an eye for detail could work out and sort out this, but I'm afraid we don't have the guy. Fraser Cook says, should have been 3-1 or 4-1 easily there. What has Buckley done wrong? Davil Surka said, doesn't even get a barrage of Twitter after another shite result due to the social media boycott by the club. The bloke couldn't have had an easier season. Fans have nowhere to show their displeasure. Charlie Rose said, this very disappointing. Should be winning games like this with the amount of chances we had. Kaminsky should do miles better for the goal. We need a new manager with new ideas, new tactical approach, and sign some quality players in the summer. Well, that is pretty much all. Any other ones that want to be in there? Post-match still Moby Pillock. Let's go on to the next page here. What's going on my phone? Is there anything interesting? No. Limp finished the end of the season versus Birmingham. Can't wait to see our guys whiff more shots than we did today. What else? What else do we have? Bell did okay. Yeah, that's pretty much the highlight. What about elsewhere on the Championship? Let's take a look at it then, shall we? Of course, Sheffield Wednesday can only muster a draw against Nottingham Forest, which keeps them within a chance of survival. There must be Derby, though, final day of the season. Millwall ran right over Bristol City, of course, signed Pearson for a 3-year deal. I'm not sure about that. Wickham with a shocker, of course, still mathematically have a chance for survival at the end of the season, while beating Bournemouth, of course, who are already in playoff mode. Cardiff 4-0 batterers of Birmingham as well. Luton against Middlesbrough and at All Square. Swansea did beat Derby, lastminute.com winners there. Of course, Norwich City beat Reading 4-1. Of course, Reading's season can come to a bit of a squimp end. Keep the other a strong finish for them as well. 2-0 win over Stoke. Of course, Rotherham with a draw. Huddersfield also with a draw against Coventry. Brentford 2-0 wins over Watford. And Preston did beat Barnsley. As you can see, Preston will finish above us in the table. We could only finish as high as 14th. QPR, though, could go as high as 8th at the end of the season. Of course, depending on what goes on next season, they could also be in the hunt as well. Wickham, Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham all on 40 points right here, right now. Derby on 43. So they could be looking over their shoulders. If they lose, they will. Will they go down? I think they will. They will go down. So Derby, if they lose, they will go down. A draw will also keep Derby up. That's the scenario. Well, at the moment. So Rotherham, of course, have a game in hand. They have a game again against Luton. If they were to win that game, guess what? A draw might not be enough, because I think a win for Rotherham with their superior goal difference will have them above Derby come, of course, kick-off next week, of course. So I'll be looking forward to that. And speaking of next week, it is an early kick-off then. I'm going to be out and about. I think I'll probably have to have a nice day out with the wife after that to end the season next week against Birmingham, boys and girls. That's right, at Ewood Park. Of course, we'll talk about that Luton game against Rotherham. That's on midweek, of course. We'll have our match picks and, of course, the preview for this game after the conclusion of that game, of course. What about Rotherham? They will end the season against Cardiff away. Of course, they were fantastic today. So it looks like a very, very stiff opposition. Meanwhile, Wickham, though, who are they playing? They're taking on Middlesbrough. Need a massive goal swing for them to go down or to stay up. But of course, all eyes will be on Derby counting against Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know. I might have to watch both of those games at the same time somehow to make that happen. Anyway, that's it, my friends. Of course, be sure to give the video some love, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Of course, we are coming to a conclusion for the season, but it doesn't mean that the channel will dry up. We've got lots of content to look forward to. I will be keeping an eye out abreast on, of course, Rovers content. Of course, we'll take a look at stuff from the past. We'll also look forward to the stuff in the future, transfers, managerial, merry-go-round, all that kind of stuff. So, of course, this will be a one-stop shop for anything Blackburn Rovers related. And if you are new, bang the old thumbs up, bang your subscribe. Again, thank you again for sticking by us through the channel through this year. Next year will be an even better year. Of course, a lot of guys will go back to Ewood Park. Unfortunately, I'm stuck here in the middle of Pennsylvania, so I can't make regular trips. However, I will hope to return to Ewood Park myself for a couple of games next season as well. So make sure you give the channel some love and smash your thumbs up, smash the old subscribe. Check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. That's the best place to do it. Until then, though, I'll see you all soon for the next one. Birmingham to end the season. But until then, I've got plenty more content on the channel, so check it all out. Until then, I am out.